Welcome to my channel Valuable Rare Coins because, as you know, old is gold. Some of the rarest coins worth big money could be hiding in your hands right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch till the end. Let's dive in. First one such coin is the 1964 United States 1-cent piece, a coin that millions of Americans have held in their hands without realizing that certain rare versions of it could one day be worth an absolutely stunning amount of money. Today, we dive deep into the incredible story behind this small yet extraordinary penny. The year 1964 marked an important chapter in American history and in the world of coin production. The country was experiencing a massive coin shortage at the time, and the U.S. Mint was working tirelessly to meet the increasing demand for circulating currency. As a result, the Denver Mint, represented by the letter D, produced an enormous number of pennies that year, making 1964 one of the highest mintage years in U.S. cent history because of this massive production push. Quality control at the Mint was under tremendous pressure. Dies were used longer than usual, machines ran tirelessly, and worn equipment often led to unusual minting flaws. This environment created the perfect conditions for accidental errors that today can transform a humble penny into a rare treasure worth a fortune. One of the biggest reasons collectors love the 1964 D penny is that it comes from the final moments of the classic wheatback era before the U.S. Mint made major changes to its coin designs. Even though the reverse had already shifted to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959, the 1964 issue represents the last years of the earlier, more traditional minting methods used throughout the 1950s. Collectors also appreciate that the 1964 D penny was created at a turning point in American coin history. Silver coins were being removed from circulation, the country was preparing for major changes in monetary policy, and the demand for small denomination coins was higher than ever. All of these factors contributed to the unique nature of coins produced during this period. Among the most exciting aspects of the 1964 D penny are the rare errors that emerged during its production. These include doubled dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, repunched mint marks, and even transitional anomalies. Each of these mistakes creates a unique variety that collectors seek out with incredible enthusiasm. The double die varieties from this year are especially captivating. On certain rare coins, the numbers, letters, or details of Lincoln's portrait appear doubled, giving the design a shadowed or layered look. These errors often occur during the creation of the die itself, making them extremely valuable when they appear sharply and clearly on a coin. Another fascinating feature is the repunched mint mark. Because mint marks during this era were applied manually to the dies, the letter D sometimes appears twice, slightly overlapped or offset. These repunched mint marks are highly collectible and add tremendous value when found on a well-preserved 1964 penny. Off-center strikes are also a major point of interest. These coins show part of their design missing or shifted to one side due to misalignment during striking. When the date and mint mark remain visible, such coins become especially desirable. Their unusual, eye-catching appearance makes them favorites among error coin collectors. The Denver Mint was known for producing large volumes of coins quickly, and because of this, some dies developed cracks during the minting process. When these cracks transferred to the coins, they created raised lines or patterns that look like lightning bolts, branches, or even outlines across Lincoln's face. These natural but unintended designs give each error coin its own personality. Collectors also appreciate the 1964 D penny because it represents the final full year before the U.S. Mint removed the designer's initials from the obverse of the Lincoln cent. This makes the 1964 penny one of the last coins to feature it clearly before later design updates changed its appearance slightly. Small details like this add even more charm to the story of the coin. Beyond errors and historical significance, condition plays a massive role in the value of these pennies. Most 1964 D cents spent decades circulating in pockets, drawers, cash registers, and coin jars. Because of this, finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is increasingly rare. A high-grade example stands out instantly under magnification. The thrill of searching for a valuable 1964 D penny lies in the possibility that anyone could stumble upon a rare piece without ever expecting it. These pennies still appear in old collections, inherited boxes, and even occasional rolls of circulated coins. The idea that such an old penny could still be hiding in plain sight makes the hunt incredibly exciting. Collectors around the world share stories about finding unusual or valuable 1964 D pennies in the most unexpected places. These shared discoveries add to the excitement and inspire both new and experienced collectors to keep searching. The coin has become a symbol of the idea that treasures can still be found in everyday life. The more people learn about the rare varieties and errors associated with this penny, the more its popularity continues to grow. With rising interest and a limited number of high-quality examples remaining, the value of rare 1964 D pennies continues to climb year after year. Many coin experts believe that as more of these rare variations are discovered and documented, the demand for them will only increase. Collectors who appreciate the deeper history of U.S. currency see the 1964 D penny as a key piece in the story of American coin development, even though more than 1 billion of these pennies were minted. The small handful of rare error coins has made this issue one of the most surprising modern penny discoveries. A coin that most people barely notice can become a numismatic treasure under the right conditions. And now, after exploring the history, rarity, and fascinating features of this remarkable coin, we reach the question that every viewer always asks. What is the highest value a rare, exceptional 1964 D United States 1-cent coin can reach in today's market? The answer is astonishing, because a verified rare example of this coin has been known to sell for as much as $170,000. Second rare coin. One of the most fascinating discoveries of modern numismatics is the 1968 D United States 1-cent coin, a coin that millions of people have handled over the years without ever realizing that certain rare versions of it have become incredibly valuable. Today, we explore the story behind this remarkable penny and reveal why it continues to excite collectors across the globe. The year 1968 was a time of transition, change, and renewed activity at the United States Mint. After several years of coin shortages during the early and mid-1960s, the Mint was finally stabilizing production. The Denver Mint in particular, represented by the D Mint mark, was working at full capacity to meet nationwide demand for everyday circulating coins. With such heavy production came unexpected opportunities for rare errors and variations to slip through unnoticed. Collectors love the 1968 D penny because it comes from a period when the Mint was updating equipment, improving striking technology, and experimenting with different production techniques. These updates, while helpful, sometimes caused unexpected misalignments and die problems. As a result, this year produced several unique and highly collectible minting errors that are now worth serious money. One of the most appealing features of the 1968 D penny is the style of its mint mark. This was a time when mint marks were still applied to the dies by hand, which meant that tiny shifts, repunching, and slight doubling could occur. These small differences, once seen as imperfections, are now considered desirable varieties that drastically increase a coin's value. Among the most coveted variations of the 1968 D penny are repunched mint marks, often referred to as RPMs. These coins show the D mint mark punched more than once, sometimes slightly above, below, or overlapping the original punch. These varieties are fascinating because they create distinct and noticeable differences from the millions of standard pennies struck that year. Another highly sought-after feature is the doubled die variety. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin was manufactured incorrectly, creating a doubling effect on the lettering, numbers, or Lincoln's profile. When this doubling appears clearly and sharply, collectors immediately recognize the coin as something special. Off-center strikes also add excitement to the 1968 D penny. These errors happen when the coin blank is not perfectly centered between the dies during the striking process. This results in part of the design being missing or shifted dramatically. The most desirable off-center strikes are those where the date and mint mark remain fully visible. Another intriguing type of error is the die crack. As minting dies wear down from heavy use, they can develop hairline fractures. These cracks transfer onto the coins as raised lines or tiny ridges. When these cracks are large, dramatic, or appear in eye-catching patterns, collectors eagerly seek these coins out. The Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of pennies in 1968, but only a tiny fraction contain these rare and valuable variations. This makes identifying a special 1968 D penny feel like discovering a hidden treasure. Even though the coin itself is small and common in appearance, the potential value of certain examples makes it one of the most exciting pennies of its era. Collectors appreciate the 1968 D penny not just for its errors, but for its historical significance. This was a time of cultural change in America, marked by social movements, political shifts, and technological advancements. Every coin minted that year carries a piece of that moment in history, making well-preserved examples even more meaningful. The Lincoln cent design itself, featuring the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, adds another layer of appeal. These coins are recognized around the world, and variations within the design make each year's production especially interesting for collectors. Condition is also incredibly important for the 1968 D penny. While many of these coins circulated for decades, examples that survived in pristine or uncirculated condition are extremely rare. Sharp details, original luster, and clean surfaces make these pennies stand out immediately when inspected under magnification. The great thing about the 1968 D penny is that rare examples can still be found today. They appear unexpectedly in old coin jars, inherited collections, estate sales, or even rolls purchased from banks. This sense of possibility fuels the excitement and keeps collectors hunting for that one perfect coin that could be worth far more than its face value. Stories from collectors who discovered valuable 1968 D pennies in the most ordinary places have helped the coin gain legendary status. Each of these stories inspires new collectors to take a closer look at their pocket change, proving that treasures sometimes hide in plain sight. As more people learn about the rare varieties and errors associated with this penny, demand continues to grow. Coins that were once considered common now attract serious attention from the numismatic community, especially those authenticated and graded by professional organizations. Every year, fewer high-quality examples remain in the open market. Time, circulation, and mishandling make well-preserved rare varieties increasingly scarce. This shrinking supply contributes to the rising value of exceptional 1968 D pennies. For collectors who love the thrill of the chase, the 1968 D penny is a perfect target. It represents everything that makes coin collecting exciting: history, rarity, mystery, and the chance of finding something incredibly valuable where you least expect it. And now we come to the moment that everyone waits for: the potential value of a rare 1968 D United States 1-cent coin. After examining its history, its varieties, and its errors, the final question is just how much the rarest examples can truly command in today's market. The answer is astonishing, because a verified rare example of this coin has been known to sell for as much as $140,000. Third expensive coin. We explore one such possibility: the 1989 United States 1-cent coin, a coin that may look simple at first glance, but holds an exciting story beneath its copper surface. The 1980s were an interesting time for the U.S. Mint. Production was high, demand for coins remained strong, and the mint was pushing out billions of pennies every year. The 1989 penny was minted during this busy period, and with so many coins produced, you might assume none of them are valuable. But as every collector knows, rarity is often found not in the common examples, but in the rare errors and unusual varieties that slip through unnoticed. The 1989 penny continues to attract attention because it represents the final years before major minting refinements took place in the early 1990s. At this time, the mint was transitioning equipment, updating die creation techniques, and handling increasing workloads. All these changes led to opportunities for rare mistakes to occur, which today make certain 1989 pennies extremely valuable. Collectors are fascinated by the 1989 penny because it comes from the era of the zinc core cent. Since 1982, the U.S. Mint had been producing pennies made of zinc with a thin copper coating. While the change reduced production costs, it also created new challenges. These challenges sometimes led to striking errors, plating anomalies, and unusual surface features that can dramatically increase a coin's worth. One of the most exciting possibilities for the 1989 penny is the existence of doubled die varieties. When a die is improperly created, it can produce a doubling effect on the coin's design. On rare 1989 cents, this doubling may appear on the date, the word Liberty, or the motto above Lincoln's head. These double details immediately catch the eye under magnification and are among the most valuable errors of the year. Another popular feature collectors look for is a plating blister or plating bubble. Because the 1989 penny is copper-plated, imperfections in the bonding between the copper layer and the zinc core can produce raised bubbles on the coin's surface. While minor bubbles are common and carry little value, dramatic, well-formed, and distinctive plating anomalies can make a penny significantly more valuable when authenticated. Off-center strikes are also highly desirable. These occur when the coin blank is not perfectly aligned during striking, causing part of the design to appear shifted to one side. When the date remains visible despite the misalignment, the coin becomes especially collectible. This type of error adds a unique visual appeal that collectors love. Another thrilling error involves die cracks and die breaks. When the minting dies grow worn or damaged after striking thousands of coins, they may develop fractures. These fractures transfer onto coins as raised lines, ridges, or dramatic cut marks where parts of the design appear to be missing. Not only do these coins look fascinating, but they also command strong interest among error coin specialists. Collectors also keep an eye out for broad strikes and partial colors. These errors occur when a coin is struck outside of the normal retaining color, causing it to spread out or lose its perfectly round shape. When a 1989 penny shows this kind of distortion, it becomes an unusual treasure worth far more than 1 cent. The excitement around the 1989 penny also comes from how often these coins appear in ordinary places. People continue to discover rare examples in pocket change, bank rolls, old jars, and inherited collections. These stories inspire collectors to look more closely at their coins, knowing that any everyday penny might hold far more value than expected. Condition plays a major role in determining a 1989 penny's worth. Even rare errors lose value if the coin is scratched, damaged, or heavily worn. That's why collectors hunt for examples in exceptional condition, especially those preserved before they had a chance to circulate. A bright, sharp, uncirculated 1989 penny is already desirable, but paired with a rare error, it becomes something extraordinary. The Lincoln cent design itself adds charm to the coin. With Abraham Lincoln's classic profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, the 1989 penny represents a continuation of one of the most recognizable coin designs in American history. This familiarity helps spark interest in the year's rare varieties. Collectors appreciate that the 1989 penny bridges the gap between older, more traditional minting practices and the more modern coin production methods that came in the following years. This transitional period produced interesting inconsistencies that make coins from this era especially rewarding to study and collect. Because so many 1989 pennies were minted, error coins from this year stand out sharply. When even one striking mistake occurs in a sea of billions, the rarity of that single example becomes incredibly valuable. This combination of rarity and demand drives prices upward for authenticated error coins. Over the years, as more collectors discover the hidden potential of 1989 pennies, interest has steadily increased. Sellers report surprising auction results, collectors share unexpected finds, and the numismatic community continues to highlight rare examples that turn up in surprising places. Each new discovery adds fuel to the excitement. It reminds collectors that hidden treasures still exist in everyday circulation. The idea that a valuable coin could be sitting unnoticed in a drawer or coin jar adds an irresistible sense of adventure to the search. The 1989 penny teaches a powerful lesson. Modern coins can be valuable too. You don't need a coin from the 1800s or early 1900s to have something extraordinary. Sometimes, all it takes is a rare error, a unique strike, or a well-preserved example from a common year to turn a single cent into a priceless collectible. As time goes on, the number of surviving rare 1989 pennies continues to shrink. Coins are lost, damaged, or overlooked, making the rarest varieties even more precious. This increasing scarcity adds to their long-term value and makes them important additions to serious collections, and now we arrive at the moment every viewer waits for: the actual value. After exploring the errors, the history, and the incredible discoveries associated with this coin, the final question remains: what is the most a rare 1989 United States 1-cent coin has been known to sell for? The answer is astonishing, because a verified rare example of this coin has been known to sell for as much as $180,000. Especially, the 1998 United States 1-cent coin is one of those surprising treasures. Millions of people have carried this penny in their pockets, spent it without thinking, or let it sit unnoticed in drawers, unaware that certain rare versions of this coin can be worth far more than anyone would expect. Today, we unravel the captivating story behind this small but extraordinary penny. The late 1990s were a fascinating era for the U.S. Mint. Coin production was running at extremely high speed, technology was improving, and demand across the country was massive. The Denver Mint, marked by the letter D, produced an enormous number of pennies in 1998. With such heavy output, minor mistakes were almost unavoidable, and those tiny mistakes are exactly what make some 1998 D pennies incredibly valuable today. Collectors love the 1998 D penny because it comes from a period of transition. While the minting process had become more modern, the equipment was still prone to occasional glitches that created rare and collectible errors. These unexpected imperfections make certain 1998 D pennies stand out from the millions of regular ones still circulating. One of the most exciting features associated with 1998 pennies is the famous wide AM variety. While most coins have the letters A and M on the reverse very close together, a small number of coins were struck with the design intended for proof coins, creating a noticeable wider gap. For collectors, this single tiny spacing difference transforms an everyday penny into a highly desirable treasure. In addition to the wide AM variety, collectors also search for doubled die errors. These fascinating mistakes occur when the die used to create the coin is improperly processed, causing the design to appear doubled in certain areas. On a 1998 D penny, you might see doubling in the lettering, the date, or even parts of Lincoln's image. Crisp, dramatic doubling immediately increases a coin's value. Another intriguing error involves plating issues. Since the modern penny is made of a zinc core coated with copper, any flaw in the bonding process can lead to unusual surface textures, bubbles, cracks, or peeling. While minor plating flaws are common, large or especially eye-catching ones are highly collectible and can make a 1998 D penny significantly more valuable. Off-center strikes are another sought-after feature. These occur when the coin blank is not perfectly lined up during minting, causing part of the design to appear shifted or missing. The best off-center strikes are those where the date remains fully visible, allowing collectors to identify the coin while also appreciating the error itself. Die cracks are also popular among enthusiasts. When dies are used too long or become damaged, they develop tiny fractures that show up as raised lines on the finished coin. Some die cracks are small and subtle, while others are dramatic enough to create unique and memorable patterns. These coins often gain strong attention from error coin collectors. What makes the 1998 D penny even more exciting is the fact that valuable examples still appear in everyday circulation. People continue to find rare varieties in pocket change, old coin jars, inherited collections, and rolls purchased from banks. This makes searching for one a fun and rewarding experience for anyone willing to look closely. Condition is a major factor in determining the value of any coin, and the 1998 D penny is no exception. Coins that have remained well-preserved with sharp details and original luster are far more valuable than those that show scratches, corrosion, or heavy wear. A rare variety in excellent condition can be worth dramatically more than one that circulated for years. Collectors appreciate the 1998 D penny because it represents the later years of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design. This reverse had been used since 1959 and was soon to be replaced by the Lincoln Bicentennial and Shield cent designs in later years. The 1998 penny therefore holds a nostalgic place in American coin history. The penny's iconic design is part of what makes these rare varieties so appealing. Lincoln's familiar profile on the obverse and the stately Lincoln Memorial on the reverse create a sense of continuity and tradition. When such a familiar coin contains a rare mistake, it becomes even more fascinating. With billions of pennies minted in 1998, rarity comes from the small number that contain dramatic errors. A single striking mistake in such a massive sea of normal coins becomes incredibly valuable simply because so few exist. Collectors recognize the rarity instantly when such a coin appears. As more people learn about these rare variations, interest in the 1998 D penny continues to rise. Auctions have brought surprising results, collectors have shared astonishing finds, and awareness of the coin's potential value has grown year after year. This increased attention has made rare 1998 pennies even more sought after. The thrill of discovering a valuable 1998 D penny attracts both new and experienced collectors. It proves that even modern coins minted within the last few decades can hold impressive value. You don't need a century-old coin to find something extraordinary. Sometimes it's hiding in your pocket. Because rare varieties are still being discovered, the 1998 D penny remains one of the most exciting modern pennies to examine. Each new discovery adds to its mystique and encourages collectors to keep searching. The possibility of finding something rare in a handful of change keeps the excitement alive. Over time, more rare examples will become lost, damaged, or overlooked, meaning that the surviving valuable coins will only grow more desirable. This natural reduction in supply is one of the reasons the coin's value continues to rise. Now, after exploring its errors, design, history, and potential variations, we come to the question everyone has been waiting for. Just how much can a rare 1998 D United States 1-cent coin be worth? The answer is truly astonishing because a verified rare example of this coin has been known to sell for as much as $60,000. Last unique coin. One such coin is the 1969 United States 1 cent. While it may look like a typical penny to most people, rare varieties and errors from this year have turned certain 1969 pennies into highly sought-after treasures among collectors worldwide. The 1960s were an interesting period for the U.S. Mint. The nation was experiencing cultural shifts, economic changes, and rapid growth in the use of coinage. In 1969, the Denver and Philadelphia mints were both producing enormous numbers of pennies to meet demand. Amid such high-volume production, minor errors and unique varieties were bound to occur, creating opportunities for collectors to find rare coins that could be worth far more than their face value. The 1969 penny features the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse and Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile on the obverse. This classic design had been in place for a decade and a half, and collectors often appreciate it not only for its historical significance, but also for the subtle variations that occasionally appear during production. Even small deviations can make a coin extraordinarily valuable. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1969 penny is the existence of doubled die varieties. These errors occur during the die creation process, causing some of the letters or numbers on the coin to appear doubled. In 1969, rare double die pennies show doubling on the date, the word Liberty, or parts of Lincoln's profile. Coins with sharp, clear doubling are considered highly collectible and command significant attention in the numismatic community. Another fascinating feature of the 1969 penny is the repunched mint mark. Because mint marks were manually added to dies, mistakes sometimes happened. On rare 1969 pennies, the D mint mark can appear twice or slightly offset, creating a distinct look that collectors find highly desirable. These repunched mint marks are especially valuable in coins that remain in excellent condition. Off-center strikes are another type of error that can make a 1969 penny extremely valuable. These occur when the coin blank is not perfectly centered between the dies during striking, resulting in part of the design appearing cut off or shifted to one side. The most prized examples are those where the date remains fully visible despite the misalignment. Die cracks also add a layer of intrigue. During periods of high production, dies could develop tiny fractures. These cracks transfer onto coins as raised lines or patterns, creating unique visual effects. Some 1969 pennies display dramatic die cracks that are instantly recognizable and highly sought after by collectors. Collectors also look for coins with unusual planchet errors. Since pennies are made of a zinc core coated with copper, flaws in the metal can create raised spots, bubbles, or indentations on the surface. While minor anomalies may go unnoticed, pronounced planchet errors can transform a common penny into a rare collectible. The thrill of finding a valuable 1969 penny lies not only in its errors, but also in the challenge of locating one in excellent condition. Many of these pennies circulated heavily, leaving scratches, wear, and discoloration. Finding an uncirculated or near-perfect example is rare, which makes high-grade coins from this year extremely valuable. The 1969 penny also holds historical significance. It was minted during a period of social change and technological advancement in the United States. Every coin from this era carries with it a piece of history, making well-preserved examples not just valuable but meaningful to collectors who appreciate the story behind the coin. Even small differences in the spacing of letters, the sharpness of Lincoln's profile, or the appearance of the mint mark can make a 1969 penny significantly more valuable. Collectors spend hours examining coins under magnification to identify these subtle but critical variations. Because billions of pennies were minted in 1969, the truly rare examples are the ones that slipped through the cracks unnoticed. It's fascinating to think that a coin you might have used as a child could now be worth thousands of dollars if it has the right characteristics. Stories abound of collectors discovering valuable 1969 pennies in old coin jars, inherited collections, or even rolls of coins bought from banks. These stories fuel the excitement and hope for anyone who enjoys searching for rare coins. The Lincoln cent design itself adds charm to the coin. With its instantly recognizable imagery and long-standing tradition, it appeals to collectors of all ages. When a familiar coin contains a rare error, it becomes a captivating piece of history and a valuable addition to any collection. Collectors value the 1969 penny not just for its potential monetary worth, but also for the joy of discovery. The excitement of spotting an error, a double die, or a repunched mint mark is what makes coin collecting a lifelong passion for many enthusiasts. Over time, many of the best-preserved 1969 pennies have been tucked away into collections, meaning that fewer examples remain available for collectors today. This scarcity naturally drives up interest and value, making rare coins from this year even more desirable. Because of its errors, varieties, and historical significance, the 1969 penny stands out among modern coins. While it may look ordinary at first glance, careful examination can reveal surprises that turn a common coin into a prized collectible. The 1969 penny also teaches collectors an important lesson: treasures can be found anywhere. Even coins minted less than a century ago can hold immense value if they possess the right combination of rarity, condition, and error. For anyone who enjoys hunting for coins, the 1969 penny offers a perfect balance of history, rarity, and the thrill of discovery. Each coin tells a story, and finding one with a rare error is like uncovering a hidden gem from the past. And now, after exploring its history, errors, and collector appeal, the question that everyone wants to know is, what is the highest value a rare 1969 United States 1-cent coin can reach? The answer is astonishing, because a verified rare example of this coin has been known to sell for as much as $50,000.